If you've lost your US passport and need to replace it quickly, this video is for you. Today, I'm going to explain how to replace a lost US passport step by step, both in the US and abroad. I will also share tips on how to speed up the process if you have travel coming up in the next couple of weeks. So let's dive in and get you a new passport. For more information like this, subscribe to our channel and hit the bell to be notified when I post a new video every week. When you lose a US passport or it's stolen, you have to apply for a replacement in person. There are 5 steps to replacing a lost US passport. It's basically the same process as applying for a passport for the first time with one extra form. First, you fill out Form DS-64 to report that your passport has been lost or stolen. Then you fill out Form DS-11, which is the US passport application. This is the same application that people fill out when they're applying for their passport for the very first time. After this, schedule an appointment at the nearest passport facility. Now you can schedule this appointment before you've completed your forms. Just make sure that by the time your appointment rolls around, your forms are completed. Then gather your supporting documents and payment that you will submit with your completed forms. And finally, attend your appointment. Now, whether you lose your passport in the US or abroad, you have to complete Forms DS-64 and DS-11. What's different is where you go for your appointment if you are abroad and what you take with you. I'll get into that a little later. For now, let's start with Form DS-64. This is a one-page form that is very simple to fill out. Let's take a quick look at it.
Now, the easiest way to get to Form DS-64 is to simply type in DS-64 in the Google search bar. And as you can see, Form DS-64 is the very first result. Now, the first page is just a few quick instructions. So if you go to page 2, you see that the form is just a very simple one-page form. You'll first mark whether your passport book was lost or stolen at the very top. And then section 1 is just a little bit of information about you, such as your name, your address, and things like that. And then in the second section, you're going to share a little bit of information about your passport, exactly how it was lost or stolen, and, as much detail as you can provide. And then if you have things such as the passport number, you'll enter it here as well. And that's it. Section 3, you're simply signing and dating the application, and that's it for this form.
Next, you fill out Form DS-11. I share how to fill out this form step by step in our video titled Applying for a US Passport for the First Time. I will link to it in the description below so you can check it out after you watch this video. In that video, I go into great detail and share what documents to take, how to schedule an appointment at the nearest passport facility, how much it costs, and what payment methods to use. What I don't go into is how to speed up your passport for urgent travel. I talk about how to expedite your passport so you can have it in 2 to 3 weeks, but if you need to travel in the next 2 weeks or have an emergency situation, here's what you do. If you need to travel in the next 14 days and it's not a life or death situation, you will schedule an appointment at a passport agency center instead of a post office. I'm going to link to a page in the description below that will help you find the nearest passport agency. Keep in mind, you will also have to bring proof of travel, such as a plane ticket that shows you are traveling in the next 14 days. If you have a life or death emergency, such as a serious illness, and need to travel within 72 hours, you will call the National Passport Information Center to schedule an appointment for an emergency passport. I'm going to link to the page in the description below that has these phone numbers. If the travel is for a serious illness or funeral, try to get a letter from a medical professional or hospital or any other proof that you are able to. Now, if you lose your passport abroad, you follow the same steps, but instead of going to a passport facility, you will schedule an appointment with the closest US embassy or consulate. How do you do that? You go to the Passport Services section of the local consulate's website. For example, if you're in Sweden, you can simply go on Google and type in Passport Services US Embassy Sweden, and that should get you to the right page. You should take the following to your appointment. Completed Forms DS-64 and DS-11, which I talked about earlier in the video, 2 passport photos, a form of ID such as a driver's license or expired passport, evidence of US citizenship such as a birth certificate or an old passport. Now, most people don't travel with their birth certificate or old canceled passport, so if you don't have any proof of US citizenship, see what the website says. Sometimes they'll ask you to email them before your appointment if you are in this situation. If you happen to have a photocopy in your email of the biographic page of your passport, you can ask the consulate if that will suffice for proof of citizenship. Next, you'll need to show the consulate your travel itinerary, so plane tickets, and the last thing you should take with you is a police report. Whether you lost your passport or it was stolen, you should go to a local police station and file a report and take a copy of that report to your appointment. Not every consulate requires a police report, but many do. You can find out the specific requirements by going back to that passport section of the local consulate's website. Personally, if I lost my passport in a foreign country or it was stolen, I would go file a police report even if the consulate did not require it. Now, how quickly can you get a passport if you lose one abroad? Well, most consulates can issue a temporary passport within 24 hours, but the consulate will let you know all of your options. If you have any other questions about replacing a lost passport, leave me a comment. As always, if you found this video helpful, hit the like button below, subscribe to our channel, and share this with your fellow citizens. See you in the next video.